Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And that breaking news this morning takes us to I-40 near Gorman Street, and that's where we have some big backups. We'll give you the latest on this wreck and how to get around it coming up.
And we do have some really cloudy, chilly conditions out there. Rain pulling away, but more to come as we get through this week.
Eagles fans are flying high this morning with a victory over the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Fans and Flames took over the streets of Philly in celebration, and we're going to have the big moments from the game, halftime show, and the most memorable moments.
And voting to unionize, what Amazon workers in Wake County are fighting for today as they begin to vote to decide whether they will unionize. We'll have that story and all of the Super Bowl coverage that you need to know on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
I'm Chris Lovingood. Yeah, we're going to have all that in just a bit, but really the weather is, I think, the big thing we're talking about this week, not just today, but elsewhere throughout the week. Elizabeth Gardner's tracking that right now with the radar behind her.
It's going to be really messy. I mean, again, a big change from yesterday when we had sunshine and 70s. We have a low pressure system pulling away, taking rain along with it. But the clouds linger, and so do the cool temperatures and the breezy conditions. Here's a live look at North Hills. Some drizzle's been falling across parts of the region, and we can see that maybe for the next couple of hours. It's breezy. We have a northeast wind at 8 miles per hour, and it's a chilly 40 degrees, especially, when it's damp. It just feels colder. We left a 20% chance of rain in up through around lunchtime, early afternoon, just to cover some drizzle. But most of the rain has moved on out. Our temperatures, of course, in the upper 40s for this afternoon. Tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. We're going to see more widespread rain that moves in, and up near the Virginia line, it may easily begin as a wintry mix. I'll walk you through that coming up. Chris?
Elizabeth, this morning at about 8:02. This is some of the breaking news we've been following. It's a serious crash on I-40 eastbound near Gorman Street. That's exit 295. But you see the backup there in the red. Really can't miss it. This is just an estimation of the backup that we're about to show you here. It's about 2 3/4 miles long. This is coming in from the west. Again, so you go toward the Beltline, Jones Franklin, Avon Ferry, big backup there. Keeping an eye on the cameras, though, I-40 near Avon Ferry, and starting to see at least some progress in how things are moving. In fact, let's see if the clicker will work here. There we go. In fact, wow, this is a major improvement from what we saw just moments ago. Now it looks like all the lanes are moving pretty freely. So this is going eastbound, and that's going westbound. So this is as you head toward exit 295 there on I-40. So that's certainly some good news. Looks like it is in the process of clearing. Elsewhere, some of your typical delays. I-87 coming in from the east near Knightdale. That'll take you about 13 extra minutes. It'll take you about 10 extra minutes from Wake Forest and about 7 from Apex, although it looks like that should improve now that the wreck is clearing near Gorman Street. If you're heading anywhere in the Triangle, take us on the go with you by listening to 101.5 HD3.
All right, thank you, Chris. And today will be the first weekday for a traffic lane shift on a major North Raleigh road. Kelsey Coffey joins us from Durant Road, where the DOT is starting construction on a new bridge there. Kelsey.
Hey, Michelle, for the first time today, this construction here on Durant Road could impact folks' weekday morning commute. You can see crews there working right now early this morning. NCDOT is expecting that this project will take at least 2 years to complete. Now, businesses in this area are using signs to direct customers through this construction zone. So far, crews have narrowed the lanes between Hawksmoor and Capitol Hills drives. Eventually, they will build a bridge that will lift Durant Road over the S line. That's a new rail line that will connect Raleigh and Richmond. We spoke with a business in the area who says they plan to alert customers about the new construction on social media.
Letting our customers know what's going on and how they can navigate the parking lot and look for our signs.
NCDOT says they plan to do this project in phases so they won't have to disrupt traffic across multiple areas all at once. But they do say they don't plan to complete this project until spring 2027. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
This week, thousands of workers at the Amazon RDU1 facility in Garner will decide whether to unionize. Let's bring in WRAL's Laura Levine. She joins us live from Garner. Laura, workers can begin to cast their votes today.
Chris, good morning. And when you think about it, these are the people who are getting our packages in on time, and now they are the ones who want to feel more secure, more supported on the job. Here at the RDU1 facility in Garner, you'll see signs just like this that says RDU1 Unite, Win the Fight, and Vote Union Yes. And the Upstart Union is attempting to represent more than 4,000 Amazon workers. Over the weekend, more than 100 workers rallied outside this very facility trying to gather that support. By unionizing, the group hopes to receive higher wages, increased paid time off, paid lunch, and several other demands. The company pays workers in this facility a starting wage of $18.50 an hour and a top pay of $23.80 an hour. The union organizer said that they'll be pressing for $30 an hour.
We are obsessed with the customer. We are proud of coming in every day and delivering packages within 1 to 2 days. I'm proud of being a ship dock water spider and walking 21 to 25 miles a day to make sure that packages are out. We deserve to be able to negotiate our wages.
So WRAL has reached out to Amazon for a statement, and a spokesperson says in part, the fact is Amazon already offers what many unions are requesting: safe, inclusive workplaces, competitive pay, and industry-leading benefits. The National Labor Relations Board is overseeing this 6-day vote, which begins today. The vote will wrap up by the end of the week, and they're going to do a final count on Saturday. And if they are successful, this Garner facility will be only the second facility to unionize in this country. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Garner.
Super Bowl 59 is a wrap in New Orleans. The Philadelphia Eagles raising the Lombardi Trophy after their commanding win, keeping the Kansas City Chiefs from the three-peat. Taylor Swift spotted supporting boyfriend Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs. Grammy Award-winning artist Kendrick Lamar became the first solo rap artist to perform the Super Bowl halftime show. And Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts was named MVP of the game. The Chiefs scoreless in the first half. The final score of the Super Bowl, 40-22.
In North Carolina, this is the first year fans were able to legally bet on the Super Bowl. Sports analysts tell us the game could break records. It's expected to have been one of the biggest gambling days of the year. And so we caught up with sports fans in Raleigh. They say being able to bet on the game this time around just adds a layer of excitement to the game.
When you say I put a bet on Saquon Barkley to get so many yards, it makes me root for him a little more, a little harder, because I'm trying to get my money,
Trying to get that bag. Experts say $5 billion was spent on betting in the state after it was legalized last March. Next month, we should have an idea of how much was wagered on the Super Bowl in total.
Today, the case of a man accused of murdering a Moore County woman heads back to court in Montgomery County. Investigators believe James Dunmore killed his girlfriend, Alicia Watts, in 2023. Watts was last seen on July 16th of that year. Dunmore was found in her SUV just a few days later. Authorities found Watts' body in Montgomery County. During today's deposition hearing, witnesses will provide sworn-in testimony before the trial begins, as both the prosecution and the defense prepare their case. More than 130 Wake County schools could be getting a panic button later this month. The District Safety and Security Committee will discuss the Rave Panic Button when they meet tomorrow. This is the app that can be used by employees to automatically put their schools in lockdown if they sense a threat and alert authorities. The committee will hear a plan from the Office of Security that has the district-wide rollout beginning February 17th. Teachers in about 24 Wake County schools already have this app. A software glitch had been keeping the remaining schools from being able to join.
Raleigh police are still searching for the person responsible for shooting 4 people. This shooting happened near the Aberley Grove Apartments on New Bern Avenue late Saturday. What you're seeing here is video of the scene, and notice there's a nearby shopping center taped off here. We spoke with neighbors who told us this shooting just came out of nowhere.
Thought it was a helicopter or something going over top. Then it was just do. Whatever it was, it had to be something pretty big, maybe automatic fire.
It's still unclear what led up to the shooting or if police have any suspects, but we do know all 4 victims are expected to live.
And there was another shooting off of New Bern Avenue this weekend. It happened on the corner of Hawkins Street just after 3 a.m. yesterday. Police say a man was shot and was taken to the hospital. He is expected to recover. That investigation is ongoing.
More Trump tariffs, the new taxes the president is expected to roll out this week, and how China is retaliating today.
And 6 zoo animals, how some of the most well-known zoos in America are working to keep animals safe during a worsening bird flu outbreak.
And a much different weather pattern for today. Cloudy skies, much cooler temperatures, a little bit of drizzle this morning. Tomorrow's a WRAL weather alert day. I'll show you why coming up.
And vote on our live poll this morning. We want to know, are you happy with the Super Bowl winner? Share your voice right now by scanning the QR code on your screen, or you can head to WRAL.com/yourvoice. Welcome back on your Monday morning. It really feels like a Monday morning with the clouds and the drizzle out there. This is a live look at Warrenton. You can see that rain droplet on the camera there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has more looks around town, and the Raleigh camera still has those raindrops on it as well.
It does. I mean, what a Monday. And it's not just going to be Monday. It's going to be most of this week, especially today, tomorrow, and Wednesday with really chilly temperatures, gray skies, and rain on and off. It's a little drier in Fayetteville, but here as we take a look at downtown Raleigh, it's breezy and definitely some wetness on the camera lens. The streets are a little wet there in Chapel Hill as well as Apex. We did have some showers that rolled right through the middle of the viewing area overnight last night. The low that brought us that rain is moving away, but we'll continue with a northeasterly flow. So that'll be chilly, it'll be cloudy, and then eventually we'll see another system that arrives tomorrow. This is a look at Futurecast though for the rest of the day. At lunchtime, you can see the gray skies and they just linger on through tomorrow. Let's talk about what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. All total this week, we could see 2 to 4 inches of rain, and flooding issues will mostly be in the mountains, but by Wednesday, we do have a low risk for some flooding. The big thing for tomorrow is we have the potential for a wintry mix from, say, our northern counties up into Virginia. That is likely to start in the morning, and Futurecast shows that even up into lunchtime or early afternoon. This is 9 a.m. We start to see that precipitation taking shape, and of course, depending on just how chilly the temperatures get, we're going to see it mixing on and off with some freezing rain, some sleet, maybe even a little bit of snow. You could see the purple shaded areas where we would end up with a wintry mix. But it's going to be a really chilly, miserable day. Tomorrow, in terms of where we have the best chance of ice, it's going to be from Warrenton to South Hill to Roxborough to Durham. Bridges would be the biggest issue potentially tomorrow morning. Right now, we don't have any advisories for our viewing area at all, but a lot of them up north into Virginia. Keep checking back and we'll let you know if that changes. But the rain rolls in tomorrow with a little wintry mix in the north, and then just keeps on coming on and off all the way through Thursday. Right now, it looks like we might get a little break from the precipitation on Friday. All total, looking at 2 to 4 inches of rain. We need the rain, but that's going to be a lot, and it's going to be really chilly along with it. Again, Wednesday, we do have that low flood risk. So tomorrow, again, WRAL weather alert day for that chance of a wintry mix in our northern counties and some very chilly temperatures. By Friday for Valentine's Day, we may get a peek of the sunshine. Chris?
Looking forward to that. And hey, some good news to pass along as we come up on 816. The wreck that we were following on I-40 near Gorman Street, that has since cleared. Notice that all that red that was to the west has since dissipated on the traffic sensors as well. We'll give you a live look at I-40, especially as you get close to Avon Ferry Road, and you'll notice that things are flowing pretty smoothly now. Your typical kind of traffic out there. Typical slowdowns, though, in other parts of the area, although even I-87 at Wendell Falls, that has improved in the past few minutes since I last checked this camera. It is one of your typical slowdown spots, though. I-87 is if you're coming into Raleigh right now. That's actually improved as well. A few minutes ago, I was checking it. It had about a 13-minute delay. Now it's about a 2-minute delay. So that's certainly some good news on a Monday, especially the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday. Minimal delays heading into the Bull City as well, whether you're coming in on 501, on I-40 from Wade Avenue, Chapel Hill, or on I-85 from Hillsborough. But keep us in mind as you're heading out the door this morning. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle on 101.5 HD3.
All right, thank you, Chris. A car crash in Florida caused the deaths of 5 people, including children. This happened in Miami Gardens. Investigators say this severely damaged car was rear-ended, and that sent it into the path of an SUV. 4 children and an adult were inside the car, and all were killed. 5 other people were injured in the crash. Police say the 25-year-old driver who rear-ended the car was speeding, and they believe he was drinking. An off-duty officer witnessed the crash and detained that man responsible.
5 people are hurt after a train collision in Massachusetts. Officials say a Green Line train carrying passengers hit an out-of-service train at the station in Somerville early Sunday morning. All 4 operators and 1 passenger who reported a neck injury were taken to a hospital. This happened around 12:30 in the morning. The NTSB is investigating.
This week is expected to be another whirlwind for international trade. President Trump says he will announce new steel and aluminum tariffs this week. As Amy Kiley reports, new Chinese tariffs on certain U.S. goods begins today.
This escalation is not going to be helpful.
President Donald Trump says he's announcing a number of new tariffs this week, starting today.
Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
What about aluminum, sir?
Aluminum, too.
Canada produces about a quarter of U.S. steel imports. Mexico supplies about half that. Analysts say the upside of the tariffs is they might help domestic producers. U.S. Steel Corporation is struggling so much it unsuccessfully tried to sell itself to a Japanese company last month. Some economists say the downside of tariffs could be higher prices for Americans. They point to other duties on metals that Trump imposed in his first term.
It was sort of a situation where an eye for an eye left everybody blind.
Also today, new Chinese tariffs on some U.S. goods begin. They're 15% for certain types of coal and liquefied natural gas, and 10% for crude oil, certain vehicles, and farm equipment. China says, quote, trade and tariff wars have no winners. But it says it's responding to Trump's new tariff on Chinese products. Those force American businesses to pay 10% extra as a kind of tax on Chinese imports over $800. Many economists say that could be inflationary.
When you're dealing with the Chinese government, you really are looking to try to find a way that nobody really looks bad.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Now, the Trump administration says it's only pausing tariffs on Chinese imports that cost less than $800. It says the Commerce Department is developing a system for tracking those goods.
Well, a lot of people were wondering whether Kendrick Lamar would perform his massively popular Drake diss track, Not Like Us, during the halftime show. And of course he did, although he did take out one of the words that prompted Drake to sue their shared record label, Universal Music Group. Adding more insult, tennis star Serena Williams, who once dated Drake, came out on stage to dance during that particular performance. And a minor disruption made its way into the Super Bowl halftime show. Toward the end of Kendrick Lamar's performance, a man was seen unveiling a flag showing support for Sudan and Gaza. The NFL has confirmed that the person was one of 400 performers, but the flag was not part of Lamar's act. Security was quick to tackle the man who has been banned from attending any future events at all NFL stadiums.
And the Super Bowl, it's the main thing that we're talking about today with our megaphone question. So let's go ahead and check the results of our live poll. We asked, how do you feel about the Eagles' domination over the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Now, if you see right here, we got right in the middle in between. And my producer, Natalie, says about 200 people have engaged in this vote as well. Just a reminder, you can always share your voice by scanning the QR code on your screen or heading to WRAL.com/yourvoice to cast your vote. The next thing we're talking about is, what was your favorite Super Bowl commercial? You can let us know at WRAL.com/yourvoice, and we will share the results in the next half hour.
I definitely have my favorites, I'll tell you that. Well, expect the office to be short-staffed today. A new Harris poll that found more than 22.5 million people across the country plan to miss work. That's up 40% from last year. The poll estimates nearly 13 million people have pre-approved the day off. 2% of participants said, they're calling in sick. And another 2% say they plan to ghost their employer and just not show up. That wouldn't fly here. You can't do that.
I would like to point out that we showed up for work today.
Yeah, we did.
Here's proof. All right, the bird flu is hitting some of the country's most well-known zoos. The Wildlife Conservation Society is scrambling to protect other animals. That's because they say 3 ducks died from bird flu at Queens Zoo. 12 other birds died at the Bronx Zoo after possible exposure to the virus. Zoo management says they are still waiting to test the results to confirm flu was actually the cause. On Friday, New York's governor ordered a week-long shutdown of all live poultry markets in New York City because of 7 cases detected there.
Amazon has settled a lawsuit with drivers over potentially withholding tips. The company says it'll pay $4 million to settle charges of taking delivery drivers' tips in order to subsidize labor costs. The lawsuit claims that Amazon misled consumers by assuring them that digital tips would go to Amazon's flex drivers who are allowed to use their own cars. Amazon denies the allegations.
Several major routes in the Clayton and Garner area off I-40 are getting new names and highway designation numbers. 10 miles off US 70 between I-40 and the 70 business interchange will become Interstate 42. Almost 11 miles of NC 42 in that area will be renumbered as NC 36. And 12 miles of 70 business between I-40 and I-42 will revert to US 70. A contractor for the DOT should begin making the sign changes today, but the work will take about 3 months to complete.
Well, coming up, holding on to hope, how the family of a girl who disappeared 25 years ago is reminding the community to keep looking for her.
And a vote to unionize. What Amazon workers in Wake County want to achieve as they begin voting today on whether to form a union.
And we want to know, what was your favorite Super Bowl commercial? You have the QR code there on the right-hand side of your screen. Scan that and let us know.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning and happy Monday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. A lot of us saw the sprinkles in the early morning hours. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking that right now.
The low that helped cause that is pulling away from us, but we do have a flow coming out of the northeast, which really changes our weather pattern for today and the next several days. Colder, cloudier, breezy. We take a look at our rain chances today. We held 20% just in case we see a few sprinkles or just a bit of drizzle. We've seen some of that already this morning, but our chances of rain definitely going down. Take a look at Apex. The streets and the sidewalks are still a little bit damp. It will be a chilly day today with temperatures in the upper 40s. We could start tomorrow in our northern counties with a wintry mix. So tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. Chris?
Ooh, yeah, 70s yesterday, 40s today. Hey, some good news to pass along. That wreck that we were following on I-40 exit 295 that has since cleared. A whole lot of green on the map. You like to see that there on the interstate heading into the capital city, even heading out of the capital city, heading westbound. Things look to be pretty good. There's I-40 Avon Ferry, just kind of your typical flow, a typical congestion here and there. Overall, things are looking pretty good there on Interstate 40. We'll have a look at some other potential delays in travel spots coming up on Fox 50 in just a little bit.
Thanks, Chris. Beginning today, thousands of workers at the Amazon RDU1 facility in Garner will decide whether to unionize. Workers can cast their votes through Friday, and they will be counted on Saturday. The group voting to unionize wants to increase pay and time off for workers, among other things. And today will be the first weekday for a traffic lane shift on a major North Raleigh road. DOT is starting construction on a new bridge on Durant Road. This is all part of the S-Line passenger rail service project. Once it's done, people can use the bridge to drive over the railroad tracks. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic over on Fox 50.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
We're looking at a low pressure system moving the rain out of our area, but the clouds and the chilly air sticks around. I'll show you when we could have the potential for some wintry mix in our northern counties.
Barney Trophy is headed to Philadelphia. Super Bowl champions for the second time.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Fans in Philly may finally be asleep after celebrating all night long. We have the big moments from the game and the most memorable commercials.
Plus, from Richmond to Raleigh, the next steps to connect the two cities by train and how it will impact your morning commute beginning today. And I first want to commend Michelle because aren't you a Giants fan?
I'm a Giants fan. I know, but I did root for the Eagles last night because I'm just sick of the Chiefs. I'm so happy the Eagles won.
Had to knock them down a peg.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for joining us this morning on WRAL News and Fox 50. I'm Chris Lovington.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. If you rooted for the Chiefs, it's okay. I understand. A lot of people did. But, somebody has to walk away a winner. So we'll talk about the commercials coming up. But first, we have to get over to Elizabeth Gardner, tracking a little bit of rain that's shifting out of the area.
Yeah, we did have some rain overnight last night. And, of course, now we have a flow coming out of the northeast. That northeasterly flow tends to bring cloud cover, some drizzle, and definitely chilly conditions, breezy as well. We do continue to hold that 20% chance just for for the next few hours to cover any additional drizzle that we might see. But we're looking at a live look at Apex right now. You can see it's a bit damp out there and just chilly. Our temperatures will be in the mid to upper 40s as we head through the afternoon. We do drop into the 30s overnight, and as we see another wave of precipitation that moves in tomorrow, that will be of concern, especially in our northern counties. So tomorrow's a WRAL weather alert day for the potential for some freezing precipitation. I'm going to go over that for you coming up in just a bit. Chris?
And Elizabeth, some good news to pass along. That wreck that we've been following for the past hour or so, that was on I-40 near exit 295. That has since cleared. Things are starting to improve really across the area, and we're thankful for that on any day of the week, but especially on a Monday morning and especially the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday. This just about 20-30 minutes ago was gridlock, bumper to bumper. Now things flowing pretty smoothly, both eastbound and westbound. This is at I-40, just shy of that exit 295 mark. In fact, that marker that you're looking there is exit 293 on Interstate 40. One of the major or typical slowdowns, I should say, is US 1 Capitol Boulevard as you're coming from Wake Forest into Raleigh. Right now, that's about an 8-minute delay. That's about what it's been for the past hour or so. And again, that tends to be one of your typical slowdown spots. No major slowdowns, however, heading into the Bull City, whether it's coming in from Chapel Hill or Hillsborough or using Wade Avenue. So great news there on this Monday morning.
All right, thank you, Chris. And today will be the first weekday for a traffic lane shift on a major North Raleigh road. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains where the DOT is starting construction on a new bridge.
For the first time today, this construction here on Durant Road could start impacting people's weekday commute. NCDOT is expecting that this project will take at least 2 years. Businesses in the area are using signs to direct customers through this construction zone. So far, crews have narrowed the lanes between Hawksmoor and Capitol Hills drives. Eventually, they will build a bridge that will lift Durant Road over the S-line. That's a new rail line that will connect Raleigh and Richmond. We spoke with business owners about how this road project impacts their day-to-day.
We're all kind of on our own trying to make it work despite the dust and the noise and the confusion and the cones.
NCDOT says they're working on this project in phases so they won't have to disrupt traffic in multiple areas all at once. But they say they won't be able to complete this project until at least spring 2027. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
This week, thousands of workers at the Amazon RDU1 facility in Garner will decide whether to unionize. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from Garner. And Laura, workers can begin to make their votes starting today.
Michelle, good morning. An upstart union is hoping to represent now more than 4,000 Amazon workers. We're here at the RDU1 facility in Garner, where you can see signs just like this in front of the facility that says RDU1 Unite and Win the Fight. So over the weekend, more than 100 workers rallied outside of this facility trying to gather that support. By unionizing, the group hopes to receive higher wages, increased paid time off, paid lunch, and several other demands. The company pays workers in the facility a starting wage of $18.50 an hour and a top pay of $23.80 an hour. The union organizers said that they'll be pressing for $30 an hour. Now, we spoke with employees who tell us that they enjoy the work they do, but they feel they deserve more.
No company is perfect. I understand that, but those imperfections are huge when it comes to the employee. Amazon's making the money. I think we helped them make double of what they made last year. We didn't get a Christmas bonus.
And an Amazon spokesperson shared this statement with us, saying, in part, the fact is Amazon already offers what many unions are requesting: safe, inclusive workplaces, competitive pay, and industry-leading benefits. The National Labor Relations Board is overseeing a 6-day vote, which begins today, and then the final count will happen on Saturday. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Garner.
Eagles fans are waking up Super Bowl winners this morning, and they dominated the Kansas City Chiefs, winning 40-22. The Chiefs were hoping to be the first team in NFL history to win 3 straight Super Bowls, but the Eagles swooped in and ended those dreams.
Couldn't be here without my teammates. You know, the effort, the determination everybody displayed to get to this point.
Now, this is the second Super Bowl victory for Philadelphia. You'll remember that they defeated the Patriots back in 2018.
America has seen several major tragedies in the past few months. A terror attack on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, wildfires in California, and several plane crashes. The victims, survivors, and first responders were honored several times ahead of the game. There was a special mention in the broadcast, a moment of silence before kickoff, and President Trump met with first responders.
Just a heads up for drivers in Raleigh, a water main repair is extending the closure of Appliance Court until noon today. One eastbound lane is open, and that road is closed to westbound traffic. We're talking about from Westinghouse Boulevard to Capitol Boulevard. Now, for people needing local access, westbound traffic can use the North Carolina Education Lottery parking lot.
Police continue to search for a suspect after 4 people are shot in Raleigh. The shooting happened near the Aberley Grove apartments along New Bern Avenue late Saturday night. This is video of the scene. You could see a nearby shopping center that was taped off. It's still unclear what led to that shooting or if police have any suspects in custody. All 4 victims are expected to survive. We will continue to monitor the story and bring you updates as it develops. And the search for a man thought to have been at the cliffs of the new state park in Wayne County will continue this morning. The sheriff's office says they started looking for Antonio Hernandez Sanchez Friday morning after he was reported missing by his family. He was last seen at Mount Olive Pickle on Thursday afternoon. His car was found at the state park where he likes to fish. Search teams were in the area trying to find him. Yesterday, a highway patrol helicopter joined in the search, but still no signs of Hernandez Sanchez.
A community is remembering a girl who disappeared in North Carolina 25 years ago. 9-year-old Aisha Degree vanished on Valentine's Day in 2000. She was seen walking along a highway away from her family's home. That was in Cleveland County in the early hours of the morning, and she has not been seen since. Every year, Degree's family hosts a prayer walk to remind people to keep looking for Aisha.
I believe she's still alive, and until somebody can prove me wrong, I'm still going to believe that because all I have is hope.
Evidence was discovered in connection to that case last year. Authorities said multiple items of interest were taken from sites. Search warrants revealed investigators believe Degree was a victim of homicide, but no human remains have been recovered.
Negotiations on the next stage of the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas are set to begin this week. An Israeli delegation traveled to Qatar for further discussions. The U.S., Egypt, and Qatar are mediating the negotiations. The first stage of the ceasefire, which began on January 19th, is meant to last 6 weeks. Yesterday, the Israeli military withdrew from an important corridor in Gaza as thousands of Palestinians returned to that region.
The U.S. government's headquarters for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is closing down this week. Bureau employees were informed yesterday afternoon the agency's D.C. headquarters will not be open for the week. Workers and contractors were told to work remotely. No reason was given for the sudden closure, though. But this comes days after Elon Musk posted on X, quote, CFPB RIP with a tombstone emoji. The Bureau was created in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. It has said its purpose is to increase protections for consumers and accountability for corporations. A new transportation option will help students get to class at Wake Tech East. Go Raleigh is launching a new hourly route this morning to serve the college in the eastern part of Wake County. Route 33L will start from New Hope Commons Shopping Center on New Bern Avenue in Raleigh. It will make several stops in Knightdale before ending at Wake Tech East in Wendell. The new route's first rides will take off at 8:30 this morning, so about 10 minutes ago they started riding.
Penny for your thoughts. The new proposal from President Trump to stop making pennies because they cost more than what they're worth. And a cold, wet pattern develops this week. You're taking a live look at Clinton. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is timing out multiple rounds of rain, and who could see some light ice as well.
And don't forget, you can vote on our live poll this morning. We want to know, what was your favorite Super Bowl commercial? Share your voice right now by scanning that QR code right there on your screen. You can even go to WRAL.com/yourvoice to do the same there. You're taking a live look at Durham this morning. It's kind of gray and a little gloomy outside there. And if you see the roof on the left part of the screen, you'll see that clearly there was some rain overnight. As you're watching WRAL News, available on YouTube TV and the WRAL app on your TV or your streaming device. Now, it wasn't just Durham that saw some rain overnight. Elizabeth, some other areas saw it, and the rest of the week, kind of the same happening.
Yeah, what a week. After seeing a gorgeous day yesterday, we're looking at a much different pattern today. We had some rain overnight. That low is moving away and taking the rain with it, but we do continue to have a flow coming out of the northeast, and that sets up a pattern that we call cold air damming. You may have heard us say that before. That's a cloudy pattern with chilly temperatures, drizzle, and sometimes breezy conditions too. We take a look at Futurecast, and you can see all that rain just moving to the coast and away from us. It's likely to stay gray for the rest of the day today and cloudy overnight. Temperatures will drop into the 30s by tomorrow morning. This is 7 a.m., so for much of the morning commute, we should stay fairly dry. But then once that precipitation moves in, it is possible that from time to time, from Raleigh northward, it is a wintry mix. Some of the models are showing more sleet than anything else. So rain and sleet, maybe a little snow mixing in, or even some freezing rain. And that may last up until early to mid-afternoon. So tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day. We'll see widespread rain across the bulk of the viewing area. But again, our northern counties could see some icy conditions. Again, some sleet, some snow, some rain mixing in. And that's going to be from the Triangle area northward. We do start with our temperatures tomorrow in the 30s, and some folks won't make it out of the 30s. This is a look at our potential winter weather impact for tomorrow from Durham to Lewisburg to Rocky Mount and northward. It's what we would call limited. Our temperatures are not as cold as they were when we had our last snow back in January. So we're looking at temperatures holding right around freezing, which means that we could have some slick bridges or elevated surfaces, but it shouldn't be a widespread problem. Starting to see the streets here drying out here in downtown Raleigh. 40 degrees is our temperature, but we'll keep it in the 40s today. We do have 30s. We keep dropping. Goldsboro, Rocky Mount, all now dropping into the 30s this morning. And then just expect temperatures to be in the mid 40s to around 50 for highs this afternoon. Again, tomorrow is a WRAL weather alert day because of those cold temperatures and the chance for some wintry mix for the first half of the day.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. A major winter storm blanketed parts of the Midwest and the Northeast this weekend, and it could just be the start of all of that. Up to 14 inches fell in upstate New York. Maine and Vermont saw more than a foot, and thousands of flights were delayed across the country. Now, 2 new storms are developing, expected to hit the southern plains today and the Northeast tomorrow. Crews are working hard to keep up with more wintry weather in the coming days.
Boeing says layoffs could be coming as it faces delays with its space rocket program. The company plans to lay off about 400 employees, and these are people working on the company's space launch system for NASA's Artemis program. That program includes the effort to return American astronauts to the moon. Boeing says the job cuts are linked to NASA's revisions of its program and expected costs.
A budget shortfall could threaten the Pell Grant program that helps make college possible for millions of students every year. A new report from the Congressional Budget Office in January, it shows an estimated $2.7 billion deficit for 2025. About 40% of college students rely on federally funded Pell Grants, which are granted to lower income families who demonstrate financial hardship. As of last December, more than 9 million students were eligible to receive one for the current school year.
We've learned a U.S. Marine from California was one of the 4 people who was killed in a plane crash in the Philippines. Military leaders say 22-year-old Sergeant Jacob Durham died in the crash on Thursday. He was 22 years old. 3 defense contractors were also killed, and the aircraft was on a routine mission at the time of the crash, but the cause of it, that's still being investigated.
Millions of baked goods, grocery stores, and donut shops sell are recalled over listeria concerns. The FDA is stepping up its recall of 60 baked goods. That includes a variety of mixes for donuts, cinnamon sticks, crullers, and fritters manufactured by the pastry wholesaler FGF Brands. The recall was initially issued on January 7th and was upgraded to Class 2 last week. The FDA did not specify the next steps for consumers or if anyone has gotten sick.
President Trump says he wants the Treasury Department to stop making pennies. He says it was wasteful spending. Trump wrote on social media, quote, "For far too long, the United States has minted pennies which literally cost us more than 2 cents. The rising cost of metals, including zinc and copper, is part of the reason it's been getting more expensive to make that coin."
If your tax dollars are paying someone's salary, how often do you think they should be in the office?
And for very bright, talented people, it's full-time plus.
Tonight at 6, WRAL Investigates went through years of data, finding big discrepancies county by county, who's showing up to work the most and the least, and why it's raising concerns.
Once again, a lot of big budget commercials aired during the Super Bowl, with many featuring major stars. Catherine O'Hara and Willem Dafoe teamed up to play pickleball in a Michelob Ultra ad. That was my personal favorite. I really hope that becomes a movie one day. A Clydesdale Foal returned to a Budweiser Super Bowl ad for the first time in more than a decade. Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan reenacted an iconic scene from their 1989 rom-com, When Harry Met Sally, in a Hellmann's Mayonnaise commercial. Sydney Sweeney was also in that for a second. And Seal, the singer, appeared as a singing seal in a Mountain Dew ad. And I can't unsee that now that I've seen it, Michelle.
We were cracking
it's
up
something. Amazing. It's something.
And one of his best songs, Kissed by a Rose.
It's a great song. The commercial,
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, now it's time to check the results of our live poll. We asked, what was your favorite Super Bowl commercial? And here are the results. The Stitch commercial previewing the new movie. That was very cute. I did like that. That was adorable. I saw that one. And Tanya Bailey says my favorite was Billy Crystal and When Harry Met Sally. The Hellmann's ad was just an added touch. I'm an 80s baby. I love it. Yeah, When Harry Met Sally. It's a classic. And Matt Griner says the sloths for Coors Light. That was very funny. They're all slow, and they went through a variety of different slow, scenes. And Gloria says the Budweiser commercial, my fave, first delivery. Always loved the Clydesdale horses. Yeah, they're classic. I love it. All right, and you can always share your voice by scanning that QR code on your screen, or you can head to WRAL.com/yourvote to cast your vote. We are taking polls all morning. And next up, we want to know, what is your reaction to Jalen Hurts winning Super Bowl MVP? We want to know. Let us know. Again, WRAL.com/yourvoice. We will share those results in the next half hour.
And Jeff Hogan at the WRAL Live Center. I want to show you this video that we have right here of some of the celebrations that happened in Philadelphia last night. And we were taking that poll. You can never argue with the Clydesdales being part of the Super Bowl commercial's greatness. But I always wonder what the attraction is to burning stuff in the what you're looking at right here. I'm going to roll this video here so we can get a better look at it. But this is what happened. They're burning towels in Philadelphia last night in celebration for the Eagles' win. Police made a few arrests for looting. The Eagles did post on social media Friday saying that Friday was going to be their parade. So this is right near the Market Street area of Philadelphia where the parade may be as well. Some folks who know a bit about parades right here. This is a live look at the French Quarter right now. Cleanup is well underway, a flurry of activity, as you can see there. Folks getting that area cleaned up. What a couple of weeks they've had right there so far. Business owners, by the way, they were afraid that the fans from Philly were going to be so excited they would climb the light poles and damage the 200-year-old light poles in the city. They greased them with Vaseline, so they couldn't do that.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Here's David Daniel with your Hollywood Minute.
A huge weekend for Anora. Sean Baker's comic drama took top honors from the Directors Guild of America, the Producers Guild of America, and the Critics' Choice Awards. Ramel Ross won the DGA's first-time feature film honors for Nickel Boys.
Do you need assistance?
The Wild Robot took the PGA's prize for animated film, and it cleaned up at the Annie Awards, honoring the best in animation. It took home 9 trophies, including Best Feature. The Latvian film Flow received 2 Annies for Best Writing and Best Independent Animated Feature. Both films are up for the Oscar for Animated Feature Film.
Let's say no one wants to hear what a kid wrote last month.
Well, I like your songs.
And a complete unknown was the top honoree at AARP The Magazine's Movies for Grown-Ups Awards. The Bob Dylan film, which is up for 8 Oscars, was named Best Picture for Grown-Ups and Best Time Capsule. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And we will get another check on weather and traffic next. Again, we want to know your reaction to Jalen Hurts winning Super Bowl MVP. Scan the QR code right on the right-hand side of your screen. Let us know.